Bugungi darsimizda siz bilan Cambridge 8 Test 1 Passage Through Analysisini ko'rib chiqamiz va birinchi navbatda titlni ko'rgan holda bu nima haqida ekanligini topib olishimiz kerak va ustunda o'zi ko'rganidek telepathy, ya'ni telepatiya haqida ekan. Undan keyin esa biz savol turlariga qaragan holda bizdan qanaqa skilllarni ishlatish talab qilinayotganligini tushunishimiz kerak va ustunda o'zi ko'rganidek which were the correlator A to G, demak ustunda matching qilishimiz kerak. Undan keyin esa bu savoldan keyin esa bizda 31 to 40 no more than 3 words telepathy experiments demak bu filling the table ishini qilishimiz kerak va bu savollarni javob berish uchun ho'p bu qiyin bo'lmaydi, lekin mana bu qiyin bo'lishi ehtimoli juda ham katta. Researchers with different attitudes towards telepathy agree on something. Reports of experiments during meditation indicates attitudes to parapsychology would alter this drastically worse. Recent field trials suggest that success rates will improve with something. Topish kerak buni hammasini. Bu qismga savollarga qaraymiz. Involved a person acting as a who picked out one from random selection of 4 and who then tried to identify it. Field studies. Ikkinchi yil topishimiz kerak Field studies. Hop. First Field studies were analyzed by one of the pioneers American psychologists to point to o'qishimiz kerak menimcha bu. Hop, the Field experiment tries to recreate these conditions with participants sitting in soft reclining chairs in a sealed room, listening to relaxed sound while their eyes are covered with special filters, letting in only soft pink light. In early Field experiments, telepathy tests involved the identification of a picture chosen from a random selection of 4 taken from a large image bank. Often involved a person acting as a who. The idea was that a person acting as a sender would attempt to beam the image over the receiver, relaxing the sealed room. Often acting as a sender. Sender who picked out one from random selection of 4. Picture from a random selection of 4. Let me picture what again. Picture from random selection of 1. So for would then try to find it, try to identify the receiver. Receiver. Kengasam ko'tamiz. Hope also choose positive results could be produced by factors such as or something. Demak positive results topishimiz kerak endi o'qishda. Hope the implication was that real evidence for telepathy, there was a crucial flaw in this argument, one routinely overlooked in more conventional areas of science. Just because chance had been ruled out as an explanation didn't prove telepathy must exist. There were only other ways of getting positive results. Risks ranged from sensory leakage, where clues about pictures accidentally reach the receiver, to outright fraud. They also such as sensory leakage or outright fraud. Sensory leakage or outright fraud. Sensory leakage to outright fraud. Demak bu sensory leakagedan outright fraud kecha faktorlar orqali pozitiv rezultatda tayyorlangan chiqqan bo'lishi mumkinligi haqida ma'lumotlar berilgan. Undan keyin Field studiesga o'tamiz. Field tests were used for key tasks to limit the amount of something in carrying out the test. An automated variant of the technique which used computers to perform many of the key tasks such as just random selection of images by minimizing human involvement. The amount of human involvement. Hope the computers were used. Computers were used and human involvement. Computers were used for key tasks to limit the amount of human involvement. human involvement bo'ladi. The results were then subjected to something. Results from hundreds of tests were studied by someone in a meta-analysis. Meta-analysis. Meta-analyzga subject qilingan ekan rezultatlar. Xo'p, something between mana shuni kuchaytiramiz. Voy, kichkina bo'lib ketdi. Bo'ladi. Between different tests were brought down to the fact that sample groups were not as with most gainful studies. Hope flaw. This proved a lack of consistency between individual gainful studies. The vendors of self-advised that blending the impressive evidence from the average study ignores one basic statistical fact. It takes large samples to detect small effects. It helps produce hit rate only marginally above 20% accepted by chance as unlikely by typical. Moving forward, the group is just not big enough. Only when many studies are combined with meta-analysis will the fine signal of telepathy really become apparent that is to seem to be finding. Big enough demasunda big enough degan javobni olamiz 40-savolga. Xo'p, keyingisiga o'tamiz. Big enough bo'ldi bu qism. So between different test result was put down. Mana between individual gainful studies, between different tests was put down. Lack of consistency. Uchta so'z yozilsa bo'lar ekan. Lack of consistency bo'ladi. Lack of consistency. Lack of consistency bo'lar ekan. Shu bilan bu qism o'z nihoyasiga yetadi. Buncha baland gapirmagan bo'lsam, sizlar javoblarni topdinglar va tushundinglar degan umiddaman. Keyingi qismga o'tamiz. Bu savollarni endi topish qiyin bo'ladi, chunki hech narsani o'qimadik. Faqatgina keywordlarga qaragan holda ba'zi bir savollarni topdik, lekin mana researchers with different attitudes towards telepathy haqida ma'lumotlarni ko'rmadik. Xo'p, topamiz. Parapsychologists at leading university and research institutes around the world have risked the duration of skeptical colleagues by putting the various claims to test in dozens of rigorous and the resultant manner. Skeptics and advocates alike, with different attitudes, agree on to concur on the issue that the most impressive evidence so far has become from the so-called Ganzfeld experiments, a German term that means the whole field. Need to create suitable environment? No. Claims of a higher success rate? No. Solution to a problem was better? No. Yeah. Agreed on the significance of the Ganzfeld experiment. Most impressive evidence has come from so-called Ganzfeld experiment. İyi bo'ladi javobimiz. Buni ham keywordlar orqali topish mumkin. Reports of experiences during meditation indicates meditation bo'lishi kerak-da, o'zimda keyword. Hop. During meditation here led to suspect that telepathy might involve signals passing between people that are so faint that they are usually swamped by normal brain activity. In this case, such signals might be more easily detected by those experimenting meditation like tranquility in a relaxing wall field of light, sound and warmth. No, need to create no. Discover a mechanism for telepathy. No. Yo'qlar. Bo'lar ekan, chunki meditatsiya qilgan vaziyatda meditatsiya shuni ko'rsatadi, meditatsiya qilgan vaqtda o'sha fanolar signallar o'tib ketar ekan. Bu normal brain sifatida, normal brain function qilgan vaziyatda bu o'sha narsalar sezilmaydi, lekin bunaqa qilgan vaqtda bu xabar narsa seziladi. Shuning uchun ham discover for mechanism for telepathy bo'lish ehtimoli juda ham katta bu qismda. Attitudes to parapsychologists would alter drastically with attitudes. Hop, bakalım attitude yo'qdi. Mana attitude. Why they are not certainly not finding, however, is any change in attitude of mainstream scientists. Most still totally reject the idea of telepathy. Problem stems at least in part from the lack of any plausible mechanism for telepathy. Oh, right. Damn it. Bu B bo'larkan mana bu. Xo'p, bunaqa qilamiz, mana qilamiz. Buni o'chirib tashlaymiz mana buni A yozamiz. Mana buni B yozamiz. Bunga sababni tushuntiraman hozir. Xo'p, nimaga bunaqa bo'ldi? Chunki mana yozilgan there is change in attitude in mainstream science. There is any change, not finding. Hech qanaqa change yo'q. Most still reject the idea of telepathy. Telepathy umuman reject qilishadi. Bunga sabab plausible mechanism for telepathy yo'q. Agar attitude toward psychology would drastically change with the discovery of mechanism for telepathy bo'ladi demak. Shunday mechanism for telepathy bo'lmasa, o'sha bo'lgani bilan paydo bo'lgani bilan o'zgaradigan ma'lumot bor. Attitude mana bu reports of experiencing during meditation indicates mana ustunda bu need to create suitable environment. Mana need to create suitable environment. Ustunda such things might be more elicited by those experiencing meditation like tranquility in a relaxing whole field of light, sound and warmth. Demak shu bo'ladi. Shuning uchun ham buni B deb oldik. Xo'p, keyingiga o'tamiz. Recent auto Gansfield trials suggest that success rates will improve with more careful selection of subjects. Results show that the creative and artistic people do much better than average. Demak, more careful selection of subjects. Agar subjektlarni to'g'ri selection qilsang, anani ham improve bo'ladi. Success rate ham improve bo'ladi. Xo'p, bu qismni o'ziga nihoyasiga yetkazdik. Bu qismni ham nihoyasiga yetkazgandik oldin. Shu bilan bu qismdagi javobni tushundinglar deb umid qilaman. Masalan, men buni topdim, o'sha uchun ham men bu improvezni oldim. Shu bilan bugungi darsimiz nihoyasiga yetadi. Agar muammolar bo'lsa, kommentariyada qoldirishinglar mumkin. Keyingi darslarda ko'rishguncha xayr.